Hey guys, this is becoming kind of a trend here, isn't it? Where I upload around midnight or I just end up streaming, one of the two. So, I've been kind of off my game for a couple days now, and I imagine a couple of other people have gone through the same thing. Uh, Basically, it's sinking in that the fix is in as far as politics is concerned, and uh, I'm not going to get my way, and it's really going to be just a matter of choosing between the best of two different things that I wouldn't have wanted in the end. As far as presidential politics is concerned, there might be a bright side in it for me in state politics if Hickenlooper can oust Cory Gardner, but you know, as far as national politics is concerned, I'm like, I can't believe that there's the vast support that is coming out for Joe Biden that it seems there is. And I just don't think that that sort of enthusiasm will be there that he would need to oust a sitting president, even Trump. When I say even Trump, um, after the impeachment resulted in a trial that acquitted him in the Senate, it's like he got a boost in popularity and he's just sitting pretty and waiting for whoever the Democrats throw under the bus in the next election against him. And that's got me down, you know. Once again, the Trump derangement syndrome rears its ugly head. So I was waiting for a couple of people to start coming into the chat because I'm actually going to be talking about a particular YouTuber who I was figuring might show up in the chat if I give enough time to this. So we're going to keep talking about uh, other things until I get to the intentional pee in the pool. Um, just to give some time for this guy to pop up in my chat so I can direct things directly at him. So, I suppose we could talk about the stock market having its largest 1 day point fall yesterday, and then today it was the third largest point gain. Um, we are living in a stock market roller coaster, you know. I think that the general trend is still down, down, down because of the coronavirus panic. But it is interesting that money is being made and money is being lost. I think I'll speak on another thing before I get to the intentional pee in the pool. Uh, Yesterday, I put out my 10th anniversary uh, celebration YouTube video, and I was happy with all of the submissions that I got that ended up in the video. Um, I also, uh, full disclosure here, I paid for two of them, right? And I think the two that I did pay for are completely obvious. I figured I should reward my subscribers with, uh, you know, a certain special celebrity, whatever, you know, just to just to do it, you know. And the celebrity that I put at the end was Jesus Christ. Now he's got a YouTube channel where he's got 1 million subscribers plus, and on the homepage of his YouTube channel is him uh, skateboarding on a longboard that is actually a crucifix and skating past a lot of other people on on city streets and just getting looks, right? And this guy's shtick is he's been doing it for a long time. He just pulls off the look of Jesus. So, you know, it seemed like a good fit for my channel, given the theme of me being not religious, taking up so much of this channel over the years that I figured he would be a great fit for the channel. Now, I looked for some other YouTube celebrities that I could pick, and mind you, I could have gotten shout outs from many, many different people, right? Um, Paid, of course. I'm not saying that I'm that popular behind the scenes. I might have been able to get two or three, but I was wanting to treat you guys to something like of a show, right? So, um, one in particular that ended up in the video, the other paid one, was actually Shoe Nice. Now, you guys might not know that Shoe Nice is a thing, but out of the largest YouTubers in the Denver area, um, Shoe Nice was uh, somewhat of an enigma, and I tried to track him down uh, a couple of times, right? And when I did try to track him down, it never worked while he was in the Denver area, and I don't know where he is now. But I will get to the chat in a second. But when I got Shoe Nice, he was probably my third choice for cameos for my video. And as far as expenses, he was the third most expensive I could have gotten. But still not that expensive considering wanting to do something for you guys. But when I paid for it, I thought, is he going to sound drunk? Because in his past, he did a lot of eating challenges, and then people would challenge him to chug, you know, things of alcohol on camera, and he would do that. And he would make money doing that by accepting money for chugging things in a certain amount of time. Milk drinking contests, egg eating contests. He would eat disgusting things. Um, he would eat things that were not meant for human consumption. He was just a YouTuber that would shock people by what he would put in his mouth. And so I remembered him for that when I was doing my YouTuber hangouts lot like in person downtown. We would have YouTube get-togethers, and uh, we were always wondering if he'd show up, and he never did. And I was worried about his health at the time. Um, was he all there even? Because there was a little documentary that came out about him, about the decline of Shoe Nice, and it was not good, you know. So I I just wanted to see what was going on with the guy when I invited him to our YouTuber meetups, but he never showed. But when I found him selling his services for doing uh, cameos, I was like, that's something that maybe would be interesting. And then when I got the video, uh, I was like, please, please don't be drunk. Don't be drunk. Don't be drunk. Because I know the alcohol had taken a toll on his life. And the first things out of his mouth were Angel of Doubt. And I'm like, he can't even read the name of my channel right. Oh my God. This is not good. But it was so funny to me that he would do that that I just threw it in the video. I'm like, you know what? There you guys go. I bought Shoe Nice, you know. But I was impressed with the level of quality that Jesus Christ was able to provide my little video. Um, yeah, it was good stuff. And so I think we're down to the last topic that I really wanted to talk about, and the person that I wanted to address is actually in the chat. Believe it or not, it is Jamie Demeter, and he made a video for me for my 10th anniversary uh, video. So I included a whole bunch of other people's videos in this, but his I did not. Now the length of everybody else's time in the 17-minute video, there were a dozen other people that weren't paid and made videos, and they ranged from like 15 seconds to 2 minutes and a half, right? Jamie Demeter's video was 5 minutes and 12 seconds, and it was well produced, right? But I did not feel like it fit the theme of my video that I was making. And I think if anyone else were to watch it, they'd see that it was not a celebration of my 10 years on YouTube so much as it was just, a production that did not fit with the rest of them. One of these things was not like the other. Now, let's see. I'm trying to control my YouTube controls here so that I can place the link to his. It's unlisted on his channel, but I'm going to see if I can edit the stream that I'm in right now to give you guys the link in the uh, description. Jamie says he's going to try to post it in the chat, but I think YouTube prevents things like that. Let's see. Going to live. This used to be a lot easier to do, I'm telling you. Okay, it says live, and I'm going to go. Wait. Edit title and description. Here we go. And I'm going to put it in here. Jamie Demeter's video. Okay. Now I need to. I gotta write that again now. I'm horrible with this now because YouTube keeps on changing the dashboard. So, it is the top link in the description of this video now, and everyone can go watch his video and then compare it to everything that was in my 10th anniversary celebration video. And I think the reason why I did not include it would be completely obvious to anyone as far as video taste. It just does not fit with the rest of them. Now, Jamie has attempted to make a discussion here on my channel in the comments uh, about Islam now, and I think that's an extension of me saying that I am the world's worst social justice warrior. I think people have this idea that all social justice warriors are the same, and there is no nuance to them. And that if you say that you're a social justice warrior, then you must believe that Islam is okay in, and Christianity is not, which I would not assert. Um, and also, I think that in the context of the video that he made, there were clips of me, and I've made like 3,000 of these YouTube videos and live streams, right? I know what I look like when I'm doing certain things. There are clips of me reading the chat, things that he said to me in the chat, but I'm reading and I say, Jamie says da 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 about Islam. But his clips of me omit the fact that I'm reading what he said in the chat. So it's taking it out of the context of me reading the chat and making it look like it's something that I was reading. And you know what? That's his artistic uh, flair in there, making a little film that does what it does. Uh, Also, on top of all this, there's a lot of war footage, right? And I don't think that I've made this ever a boundary here on my channel, but I am in fact a disabled vet, and I have mentioned that before, and I didn't appreciate that it was set in a war setting, you know? And I get that some people equate the existence of Islam with the fact that U.S. troops have to be deployed in all sorts of places in, North Africa and Asia and the Middle East, right? I get that that's something that people feel, but I felt like the war scenes were a bit graphic and not representative of the things that I would like to put out on my own YouTube channel. Now, I have no idea what 750 ISK is, but Corny just donated it to me, I think. What the fuck is ISK? ISK. I think it says that I just got $5. I will get to what Corny said in a minute because I don't like just answering people just because they paid to get an answer. But here's what I want to say. In the past decade that I've been on YouTube, people have made the assertion that if I were to remove one of their comments, however trifling that comment is, from my comment section, that I am then not for freedom of speech, right? And here's the thing. I have gone to great lengths to fight for freedom of speech on this platform. I used to host a weekly series called the Weekly Flags Recap here on this channel, and I did a lot for freedom of speech and raising issues about it, right? Especially with regards to being able to say that you are an atheist in public, right? So when I would talk about freedom of speech issues, some people would intentionally do what I called pissing in the pool, like intentional pissing in the pool. And they would go through my comment section and knock heads with every person who had commented and just leave comments like cunt, cunt sore, uh, boogers, just throwing out words that were offensive and not addressing the actual topic at hand. Now, I could understand if somebody said, "Hey, stop being a cunt sore. I disagree with you because your premises A, B, and C are uh, fallacious, motherfucker." You know, if you're using these insults as just flair to your actual argument, I'm fine with that, right? But when you're just intentionally pissing in the pool, I'm going to remove some comments. Just make it so that you don't make my pool uninhabitable for everybody else. Now, here's how far I take the analogy of the pool. Uh, Normally, a pool or a jacuzzi will have chlorine in it, like a little chlorine floater thing that's, you know, uh, trying to keep a balance of chlorine in the water because we know that people have germs on them. They have like their oils from their skin. Skin cells will slough off into the pool, right? And then bacteria would then eat those skin cells, and the whole pool would become contaminated to the point where you couldn't swim in it because you would get sick if we didn't have chlorine in our pools, right? Same thing goes for uh, traces of fecal matter around your booty hole. And even maybe there were a couple of drops of urine that made its way into your pants because you have a drippy dick, right? And so we make allowances for that. We have chlorinated pools, we have filters, we drain the pool every now and again, we refill it, and we agree that those little uh, those little tiny additives that come from each of our bodies, if we're not intentionally spoiling the pool, that they are below this threshold, right? We accept that yes, some of uh, your little body parts are going to be floating in the pool. But when somebody were to say, "Oh, look, you've got a little chlorine floater, you've got a filter. Oh, it looks like you've created a place where it's okay to pee in the pool. Let me just jump right in and just pee all over everyone." That's above the threshold that everyone's agreed to abide by. And that's how I feel about um, certain things on my channel. You know, as long as you are talking about the argument at hand in a way that's respectful and, uh, well, even just like nominally respectful, and you are at least addressing the issue at hand, I'm okay with your speech being in the comments section, you know. And if you are making innocuous speech that has nothing to do with what I was talking about, but you're, wanting to know about some other issue that just happens to be something that I've covered before, I have no problem with that too. But when it's intentionally offensive and against what I would want to be put out on my channel, I'm not going to include it in my collabs, even though I make a call for, hey, everybody, let's do a collab together. I'm taking whatever you want to put out. Well, yeah, I did say whatever. Just like having a little chlorine tab floating in my pool and having filters and everything. Like, yeah, hey everybody, let's have a party and do a celebration of the fact that I've been around for 10 years, right? Take a look at Jamie Demitter's video, and it does not do that. What it does is it tries to drag me into an argument about Islam that I have not been wanting to have, and I've just been reading his comments saying things about Islam that I've just, you know, been like scratching my head as to like why this is such a great deal important for him, you know? And I didn't feel like the video that was supposed to be about, celebrating 10 years here should be marred with its inclusion. Now, I don't have a problem with you guys looking at what he did with clips of me talking and putting all that war footage together and putting other YouTubers against me and putting me against like Bill Maher and what's that other fucker's name? Ben Affleck. Because there's that one scene where they had like a discussion about Islam and whatnot, and then like interspersing clips and then war clips and tanks shooting, and that's fine. It's art. He made an art. I think you'll find though that it's unlisted on his channel because if you look at the better works on his channel, it doesn't even fit in the middle of those either. There are some good videos that people might want to watch on his channel, but I don't think this fits among them. It was, you know, made to intentionally pee in the pool. Now, what did Corny have to say? He said, "Don't invest in gold or silver. Invest in toilet paper rolls of white gold." Oh my goodness. Um, I do have to admit that that was the first purchase I made when I figured out that there was going to be hysteria and that there was going to be shortages. I went and bought 2 giant packages of toilet paper so that I'd be able to shit. You know, I figured we already had enough food in the pantry, but Misty disagreed and had a giant shipment of cans, and half of everything I eat for a whole month is going to come from a can. I'm going to try to buy fresh vegetables, bring them home to cook, and then add whatever's in the can to them. But I'm going to be eating a lot of canned food. Um, Corny said, "Don't invest in gold and silver. Invest in toilet paper rolls." And he donated the American equivalent of $5.80, of which I will get 60%, and YouTube will get 40, because he has chosen to donate to me with via live chat, or sorry, what do they call that? Super chat, right? Um, I much prefer other avenues of donation because they do not uh, take as much of a share from people, but do as you will. Um, when you're donating to other people, I think you should look to see if they have like a PayPal donate, which I don't put out there, and you should look and see if they have a Patreon because both of those things give a greater percentage of the money you're trying to give to them directly to them. And this video might get monetized or demonetized by YouTube as soon as their algorithms figure out the context of what I'm saying in the future, but whatever. I just think that if there's other ways to give to a person that gets more of a percentage of your money to them, then that's the way you should go. Unless, of course, you think that the platform needs to make more money, uh, and you want to reward YouTube itself for being here. Corny says he dislikes Patreon after the Sargon shit show. Well, you know what? The Sargon shit show led me to Subscribestar, and I started a Subscribestar, and no one has ever donated anything to me over on Subscribestar. So I don't know. I went and set my threshold to Subscribestar to like $1 because I guess an update had happened to it, and then like I was like set to a default of like $5 for a subscription. I'm like, man, most of the Patreon donors I've ever had didn't give me all the way up to $5. So I was like, no, we'll set it down to like one. See if I ever get a nibble there, you know. And that experiment continues to this day. I have not had anyone give me anything on Subscribestar the way that they do for uh what's his fuck Sargon. Jamie says, "How am I a pool pisser?" I believe most of this video was dedicated to the subject. If you missed it, it's out there. It's live, but the stream will hold all of this history all together for you. And I do encourage people, seriously, to go look at Jamie Demeter's video. It's in the description as a standalone work of art. I do believe he does have something to say, and he's trying to express himself. You know, it just didn't fit with the context of the rest of the videos I had in my 10-year anniversary celebration video. And Corny says, at least, Jamie, you didn't take a dump in the pool. Uh, and because of who just said that, I'm thinking at least I have never seen kernels of corn floating in the pool. I don't want to swim in pools now. I've grossed myself out. I did want to say one more thing about my 10th anniversary video. Earlier, I admitted to having had paid for the cameos of Jesus Christ and uh, Shoe Nice, right? Those are the two that were paid that made it in there. Um, there was uh, attempts at some other cameos because I do care about you guys that have been watching me for so long. I tried to get them and uh, to no avail. In fact, only 2 out of the 10 people that I ordered, as far as cameo appearances, actually ended up in the video, even though the offer was extended to 10 separate people. So, like, 2 people took me up on it, and I was happy to be able to provide that to you guys for a laugh. One of them was kind of uh, a scary laugh to me because I'm still worried about Shoe Nice and his health. And like, is he drunk or is he just like kind of burned out in his brain from drinking too much? Uh, Challenge videos, you know, stuff like that. But I actually, out of the 10 feelers that I put out, the 10 offers that I put out there, I got two people that outright declined me, right? And both of them gave me the same no reason decline. Um, Matt's Movies says, "Hey, handsome, Matt, I'm trying to admit to things here, like high crimes on the internets here. These are the kind of things that, like, when other people admit them, they would save these things and then, like, I don't know, try to make it so that they have to answer for them later, you know. So let me dig my own grave. So, of the two people that outright declined to be a part of my video and make any sort of appearance in it whatsoever, one of them uh, gave me the the decline that was kind of standard through the service, uh, basically saying that it was not something that could be done at this time, and it might be off brand. And I gave it a little bit of a think. And this is a YouTuber that I don't want to name because of this being off brand, but this YouTuber is disabled and makes side income on social media. And I figure that this particular YouTuber, just like me not wanting Jamie Demeter's uh, video in the middle of my 10-year anniversary video, this YouTuber would not want to be associated with me because I am politically active and I have so much non religious content, and also might not even agree with like the politics that I speak of in general, right? Because I put these feelers out and they can research my channel and things that I've done on this channel before they agree to, you know, accept to give me this cameo video, right? And I thought about it and I'm like, you know, I might turn it if I was so disabled that like the only things I could do were, you know, social media to get by with a little bit of extra income. I might turn down anything that was really off brand to the point where people would think that if I collabed or endorsed with that person, that you know, it might reflect on me. You know, it might cut my audience in half somehow. So for that person, I uh, I understand. But the big reveal here, as far as tea that I'm about to spill, is Jesus Christ was not the biggest cameo I went for. The biggest cameo I went for to reward you guys who've been watching me for 10 years was actually Tay Zonday, the Chocolate Rain guy, right? In my pitch to him through the service, I told him that I was a fan of his Chocolate Rain song because of the actual lyrics, besides Chocolate Rain, being of a social justice mindset. You know, he was actually bringing awareness to a lot of different issues in his lyrics, and I respected him for that, right? Um, he could have made uh, some really good money for 15 seconds of video. And he works through a service that does very similar videos for people's birthday parties, and what I wanted from him was I even said it in my little letter to him. I said, you know, I like something just like what you do for other people's birthdays, but for me, it's for my 10-year YouTube anniversary. And the response I got back was sorry he declined it, and because it was off brand for him. Which was weird for me because here I am calling myself the world's worst social justice warrior, right? And here's this other guy singing about social justice issues and becoming an internet meme because of social justice issues, and he declined me. And I have the receipts for this. Okay, I have the declination thing. I can put it out on my Twitter if you guys want. But I'm not trying to cause him uh, too much drama over this. Maybe he just didn't have the time to do it. I put out the requests 5 days before my video had to go up. And maybe he just didn't have the time. I don't know. The responses you get are kind of vague, you know, and form letter-ish. So I don't know. But uh, I was willing to go there for you guys and, shell out a little bit so that you guys could have a video that was enjoyable and was a gift to you, for watching me for so long. So I tried, and in the end, I think that Jesus Christ uh, really came through as far as improvising because I did not script what he had to say. I just told him jokes were welcome. Corny says people want less political social justice, and it has become something negative. If you seek justice, just seek it on its own. Well, you know, I am. Uh, I've actually explained this in the video before. I am a proponent of taking back the definition of social justice from the connotation of social justice warrior. Because if you look in certain textbooks that people who go to college still have to read, the idea of social justice is completely different and more benign than social justice warriorism, you know? And yeah, whenever somebody usually gets labeled as a social justice warrior, they are complaining about the fringe crazy things like how far apart a man's legs are spread on the subway, calling it man spreading. Like who the fuck cares, right? They are so deep in their wokeness that they will write uh, treatises on feminist glaciers, which is also something that I brought up on this channel before, and I tried to put it in its place. Um, I don't consider those things to be necessary to social justice. They just, they're just some fringe things that anybody could make fun of and try to uh, paint the rest of the social justice movement with, when really it's just about like the simple things, you know, equality and all that shit. You Matt's movie says, "I bet you're manspreading right now." I'm not. I'm actually laying and leaning on my couch, and this is my couch's armrest, and this is streaming off my phone, but I prop up my laptop right behind it. This is not what a normal screen would do to its own keyboard, but that's this is just like the most comfortable spot downstairs, and as it warms up a little bit, I'll go back up into my office upstairs, and then as it cools down with my air conditioner, I'll be able to be up there during the heat of the summer. Um, but yeah, it's all about temperature, and yeah, I guess the last thing I want to talk about is something that just came up on my laptop screen behind all you guys, and that is that the number one trending thing in politics tonight, or the number one trending thing on Twitter tonight, is hashtag bye bye Bernie. I think that's probably just going to feed some of my Trump derangement syndrome for the rest of the week. I'm feeling kind of blah. I know that other people are feeling kind of blah that I've run into, and it's just, they changed the rules of the debate such that even though Amy Klobuchar, who really didn't have any chance to win, was allowed to be on the debate stage with under the percentage of vote that she was supposed to get because she grabbed one delegate from a state. So she was allowed on the debate stage. They're not going to allow Tulsi Gabbard, who grabbed a delegate or two, to be able to be on the debate stage. And they completely changed the format to be not uh, as head to head, and they're going to be taking questions from the crowd instead of being able to attack each other on stage. And without something like where Warren just completely eviscerated uh, Mike Bloomberg on the debate stage and, knocked out Bloomberg basically from the race. Uh, I don't think that Bernie has as much of a chance if, Gabbard can't get on that stage and give her opinion of what she thinks about Biden. And are we going to see her speak at all about Biden at all with any sort of social media that gets shared around? Will it be suppressed to the point that nobody ever sees it? If she were to even drop out and endorse Bernie, would anyone see it? I don't know. But I did catch that Andrew Yang gave Joe Biden his endorsement. And I always thought that Yang was more like one of the outsiders, like the progressives, like Sanders and Warren and Gabbard. He would have been maybe my fourth choice in all of this. And what I'm really seeing is that the real choice, as far as the presidency is concerned, for a lot of people, happens in the primaries, because in the end, if it's two uh, very corporatist candidates that end up on the general election ballot, then those progressives or extremists or whatever you want to call them, they just get left feeling like it's two heads of the same snake. Matt's disappointed that I have not been peeing in a pool. Um, I was just trying to make an analogy. You know, I did make a video for you guys showing you how to use a female urinalysis wand, you know, and you guys didn't see the social justice implications of this. Here I am, a guy with an X chromosome who is cisgendered as male, right? Why would I ever have to use this tool? Well, there are people who might identify as male who are trans and don't have a penis. This has not happened for me at all, right? And I don't know if any organization I have worked for has ever had a policy about this. But if you're doing your analysis, you should now know how to do it on a variety of gender. If you're going to work in a field where you have to collect uh, samples and you have to observe them. Uh, so, why do I know how to use the female urinalysis wand? Because there are people who are set up differently, but now identify as whatever they want to identify with, and maybe they'll just tell the person up front, I feel more comfortable with a dude doing it, you know? And then I've got a job where my comfort level isn't going to be something that's going to be part of the equation. I got to do a lot of crap that I'm not comfortable with. That's why they call it work and they don't call it fun. You don't go to fun, you go to work, you know. Corny says people are ignoring all the horrible dictators all around the world uh, and saying that Trump's not the worst thing out there and we should be more happy. Just gonna say, since I've been using uh, my own sort of made up fallacy called the intentional peeing in the pool that I don't want to allow, um, I'm gonna say that that is the whataboutism fallacy. You know, whether or not Trump is good doesn't have to be measured against how bad other world leaders are. We can just be better, as his wife might say. Be best. I know that Bernie went back to Vermont and that both campaigns are not going to be uh, doing anything public because of coronavirus. Um, but to me, that actually looks like it's signaling the end. Like he might not see a path to beating Joe Biden, and maybe Bernie is thinking about uh, unity right now in the face of the coming election and trying to give a much better chance at not having infighting be the whole campaign process in the wake of what happened in 2016, where he duked it out to the end, and maybe people told him that he was part of the reason why Clinton had trouble getting even more steam behind her because she had received his endorsement until way late in the race, and all of the criticisms that he would give to her were then basically, being used by Trump. He was letting the infighting be the election campaign. You know, and I think maybe the fact that Bernie went back to Vermont rather than stay in places campaigning, trying to like meet people, to a lesser extent, or do something like go on public TV or something. The fact that he went back to Vermont tonight tells me that like maybe uh, Andrew Yang, when he made his uh, endorsement of Biden, maybe he knows that there's no use in him holding out for Bernie to be able to endorse. Maybe it's all over, and we're going to have to pick between Biden and Trump. I do thank you guys for donating. It's not needed. I'm trying to answer people as they chat. Poseidon says Bernie's toast. The DNC conspiracy worked. The Dems now have a guaranteed nominee with severe dementia. Um, I've actually seen how they're trying to explain things away as him having a stutter, and that some of the clips of him not using the right word, they're actually not him forgetting the word. It's that his stutter will latch onto a word, and then he has to find a homonym to be able to say because his mouth won't let him say that particular word. And that's a strange stutter, but I have seen people like that. Poseidon says Yang sold out weeks ago when he took his first paycheck from CNN. Okay, okay. Kind of like former Fox News contributors switching over to CNN and then having a completely different political viewpoint. Or like Dave Rubin working for the Young Turks, and then when he leaves them, he's conservative or whatever he is now versus the viewpoint of the Young Turks. Thank you, Matt, for saying that I'm sexy when I ruffle my hair. It's real. It's not a toupee. And that's a real stripe full of real gray hairs from all of the clients I have that stress me the fuck out sometimes. Just checking over to see if there's any comments I still need to uh, respond to. Bugsy says they're just trying to hand it to Trump. Trump. Um, I think I've gotten them all. Bugsy says Rubin's flip was pretty extreme. Yeah, I'm glad that you're using your eyes like I am. It was pretty extreme, and I think it shows kind of like how powerful money can be for some people. That their actual positions will change in order for them to get money, and that's one of the reasons why uh, monetization here on YouTube has actually peed in the pool because there are people who do not hold the beliefs that they have here on YouTube as strongly as they portray. And they know that their pay is connected to how well they represent a certain ideal. And if they're not as extreme as their audience, then they're going to lose audience members and lose paying audience members. So they make more extreme content, which YouTube rewards them for with more views. I'm sorry, Bugsy. I didn't mean to hurt your head. And Poseidon, Walmart, I don't know that they're out of toilet paper. Um, I think my town is a lot less affected than other towns. Colorado Springs had some places without toilet paper, but I haven't heard of any place in the Denver area that did. The Springs is like a whole hour and a half away, and it's surrounded by 5 military installations. So that explains why they would have shortages at their grocery stores. But we still have no masks and no hand sanitizer, and I didn't see it, but somebody told me that the store was out of Clorox wipes. The Clorox wipes that are like preloaded with bleach in them, in the tub. They're out of those too. Corny Nose wants to know where's the Discord. Uh, so there's two ways to get on the Discord. Anyone who's on it, me included, but like anyone who's on it, uh, they can give an invite. It's set up so that like anyone can invite people that way, but also anyone who donates like $1 to my Twitter or to my Patreon, I connected the Discord perk to like the lowest tier, and then people can just like withdraw their dollar, and they still are on the server. I'm not trying to charge people to talk to me. I'm just saying that's like if I was not around and I don't know you, and that's how you wanted to get on there, um, that's fine. That's another way to get the link. Discord works weird that way. It's like you need an invite from somebody who's already in the clique, and I don't know. I guess I could make a more of an effort to put links in the uh, descriptions of my videos, but then the links kind of I think after a day or two they're no good. I don't know. It's like you have to use the link within a day or two. Hi, Paul. Thank you for saying whatever. Um, yes, Bugsy, I missed a response video button too. Um, Sorry you're just seeing the end of the video, Paul, because I gotta get. It's 1 in the morning. I'm gonna try to sleep, get some energy, and wake up to see how badly Bernie lost. And it's not looking good.